everybody see the slides?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
What my plan for today is that obviously call to order, which we're having now. We'll run through a few introductions. I don't want to go a lot of discussions there. Just introduce. I'm going to do a short presentation about our emergency communications plan. I'll talk to you a little bit about the ARES communicator, and I'll show you a couple things on the new the ARR website that are of value to probably all of you. And then we'll have a discussion, talk your question and answer about your county initiatives. Don't feel obligated. It's just if you've got something to bring up you want to present, go ahead. Then there'll be an open discussion for all the members that are here. We'll talk a little bit about the next meeting and then we'll adjourn. Hopefully the target is to do this by 10 o'clock. I practiced it yesterday and I think I can do it within that time. But once again, it's your meeting, and please be open discussion, because this program, ARES, exists to support you, not the other way around. All right. Let me introduce myself for those of you that might not know me. I'm Dave Rockwell. I've been the section traffic manager now for about 3 or 4 years. I was for about 7 or 8 years, I was the EagleNet manager. Previously, I was the public information coordinator at one time. And unfortunately, if I stand next to the section manager, I usually get other jobs. That's how I got this one. We have 2 assistant section emergency coordinators right now, Chuck Johnston, who will be overseeing our exercises and practice programs, and Randy Payne, who has served with us for so many years. He is our ASEC emeritus. So now let's see. Do we have someone from Charlotte County? How about DeSoto County? May have to unmute. Hardy County? Highlands County?
Kenneth Clay, KB0QBU, Highlands County.
Good to have you, Kenneth. Hillsborough probably won't be with us because they are having their ARES Races meeting today at the PSOC in Tampa. Manatee County.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Steve Park, W4 Oscar Echo Papa. Can you hear me okay, Dave?
Oh, I hear you absolutely perfectly. In fact, you actually sound better than Paul Toad.
I've got a cold.
Okay, and how about Pasco? I think I
Good
saw.
morning. Oh,
Well,
okay.
You're fine, Frank. We also, I
How you
think.
do, Frank Giannoni, W04GQ?
Okay, you're with Manatee, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Good morning, guys.
Morning. How about EC from Pasco County?
I'm Tim Cunningham, CAM4YGB, EC with
Perfect.
Pasco County.
Yeah.
So we're
See,
enjoying the day.
I think we have the Pinellas County radio officer with us.
Yep, and also a handful of others are training officers as well. Clayton, KJ4 US.
Yeah, Mike Drake is serving as co-host for the meeting today. Do we have anybody from Polk County?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there's the illustrious Christine. By the way, Christine, thank you so much for the formatting help on the WCF communicator. And for those of you that don't know, Christine is also our public information coordinator, and she's really adding some definite activity there, which is greatly needed. And last and not least would be Sarasota County. Don't seem to see anybody from there, but I think we might have somebody from Hardy County joining.
Sorry, we're late. No excuses.
Um, as I say on the nets, Daryl, you're never late until we close the net.
True,
Thank
but I'm still a little bit tardy.
Not a problem. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move into talking about our emergency communications plan. For those of you that haven't seen it, there is a version 1.1 out. Daryl, is that on the website? I believe.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, perfect. Basically, our plan follows the standard PACE model. If those of you haven't seen it, what we are as ARES members is communicators. Sometimes that involves radio. A lot of times it's other communications methods that we should be expert at. And most organizations will arrange their communication support as primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. A lot of times in the ARRL ARES community, we end up being the contingency and emergency comms. The important thing to remember is that our plan and our ARES support is consistent with the National Incident Management System and the Incident Command System. All of you should have gone through your 100 and 700 courses, and I encourage everyone to take as many of the IS or leadership courses that you can from FEMA, or now it was the Emergency Management Institute. It's now the National Disaster and Emergency Management University. But basically it's the same group of people. ARES are ARES groups, and we are basically based on a group. It's your local group is the most important element in ARES. Those groups should be aligned with and supporting a responding agency. That could be your local county, that could be the Red Cross, that could be Salvation Army, whoever, but every one of our ARES groups should be supporting a responding agency. Your ARES members should undergo the qualification and the recurring training required by that agency. Oxcom, which is a program of the Cybersecurity and Information or Infrastructure Security Administration, is encouraged for everyone. It basically aligns our amateur radio communication support with the National Incident Management System and operations under the Incident Command System and Emergency Operations Center operations. It's highly encouraged, and it is also required by some agencies. So I recommend that everybody go through Oxcom and get their task book signed off. Someday I'll get mine signed off. Uh, ARES members should take every opportunity to participate in events, drills, and exercises. Our skill as communicators can get rusty. We need to constantly practice, and we need to be exposed to other best practices. The point that we definitely make in the plan is that ARES members are activated by their sponsoring agencies. As the SEC or our ASECs, we are not going to call to activate you. We may make a call for eligible operators and provide that information to supported agencies. But we are not going to activate you. We are not going to give you orders. Those orders or the activation is through your sponsoring agency. ARES members should never self-activate. And by the way, we use the word activate because in the state system, the word deployment involves some very special training. So to be deployed, you have to have your background investigation, your level 2 background investigation. You have to be vetted by the agency, probably have to have a signed off task book.
Yeah.
So we generally use the term activate, but that also includes deployments. Remember, your first primary responsibility is the safety of yourself and your family. Take care of that first before you activate. And all the groups should keep me apprised of your activations. Any questions? Moving on. We do have activation levels. These are meant as pretty much information items. Any one of the ECs can request an activation level change. You can contact me. You can contact the system, the section manager, Jimmy Russ, or you can go direct with our webmaster, Daryl Davis, KT4WX. Normally, we're in a routine operations. If there's an event coming up, we may raise our level to level 3, the alert status. This is so that our ARES members know that they need to start talking with their agency. A partial activation is one or more of our groups having a local activation. It would be something like supporting a run, or you have a severe thunderstorm event or a tornado or something in your county. We would go into a partial activation. Also, that would cover exercises. We would go to level 1 probably for something like a hurricane or something major where many of our groups are active. The activation levels are offered as a service to you and our ARES members so that they know that some groups are activated and that they can potentially line up and help. Now, the meat of the plan for you guys is the tables and the organization lists that are in the back. They are meant to be references for you guys to know how to contact people. One of the ones that we definitely want to update in the next version of the plan is the county to county table of contacts. And I'm going to ask Mike Drake to give us a short look on that. I'm going to flip to the next slide, which is a picture of the table we want to put in the plan. Mike?
Yeah, thank you, Dave. What we're trying to do is make sure we have a mechanism so that we can always contact one of the EOCs that are part of West Central Florida ARES So what we're looking for there is a phone number, hopefully within the EOC, your radio room, so that we can contact you directly. We'd also like to have the email address for the computer that you have in your EOC radio room during deployment. From a WinLink standpoint, if you're running WinLink in your radio room, we'd like to know what your WinLink address is. If you have a tactical WinLink address, we'd also like to know that information. And finally, if you have a shares call sign, we'd also like to know the shares call sign. This information is all important so that if we need to contact someone, we know how to do it, and everybody knows how to contact everybody else. The WinLink information, of course, is paramount, especially if we lose the internet and are in a fallback position where we're contacting one another by radio. So this table gives you sort of an overview of that kind of information, and we'd like to see it completely filled out. If you do not have, for example, a WinLink account, we'll simply put in not applicable, but we do need to make sure each of these fields is filled out. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Mike. Very good. And please pass that information directly to Mike. He's has offered to update the table for us. You'll notice on the bottom of this slide, his address, which is wa1ryq@arrl.net. One of our future projects, we will be asking you guys eventually to update the whole 217 table of all of the frequencies that we use, but we'll work on that over our next couple meetings. Remember that this plan exists to support you guys. I need to put the information in there you need for emergencies. And we always welcome suggestions. My battle rhythm for the plan is about every 6 months to try to do a new version of the plan, more often if necessary. Recently, we added 2 annexes to the plan. One is about the Skywarn Weather Alert Net, which has been established in support of the National Weather Service. Your point of contact for that would be the Russ Delaney or Paul Toth. We also executed a memorandum of understanding between ARRL and the West Central Florida Group Incorporated that operates the NI4 CE repeater system to use the NI4 CE system in that emergency communications as our last resort communications from county to county. That's pretty much all I have on the plan. One of the things that I'm trying to get out every month is the ARES communicator, which is sort of a newsletter. Covers, one topic of general interest to all of our ARES members. We encourage all of your ARES members to read it. I'm always looking for suggestions and always welcome having a guest author or guest editors for each month. One of the things I include is a copy of the previous month's report to ARRL outlining all of the items that members of our ARES community are doing, assuming you report that to me. And we're hoping to add a section for upcoming events of interest to ARES members, and we'd like to eventually showcase some of our member activities. Maybe one, if you have an exercise or you do a WinLink training or something, and take a couple of pictures, do a couple of captions. Don't want to make it into the section newsletter, because Daryl does a real good job with that. But we will try to highlight some of our members. I also call your attention to the ARRL website, and one of the newest features, it was demonstrated the other night, is if you go to the ARES page, you'll see a button in the middle. It's called Find an ARES Group. This is for new members to find ARES groups that they might like to contact and join. Each county or each ARES group need to self-register. A couple of our counties already have. Pinellas is in there, Polk is in there. I think Manatee has done theirs. But some of the rest of you need to get yours in there. We're hoping to be the path for people to investigate ARES. They can punch in their zip code, and what they get is a map that looks like this. And we have, of course, Clearwater. In the Clearwater area, that's the Pinellas group. We have Manatee, and Polk has put theirs in. Encourage the rest of you to get yours in there. All right, that's all I have on the upper level. And now I'd like to talk to any of the counties. Let's see, do we have anybody from Charlotte? Nothing heard. How about DeSoto? Hardy County, you got any initiatives or interesting best practices?
Well, I guess a news update. We're still waiting on approval for our the 4 antennas we requested on the 2 new towers. You're going to laugh at this, but they cooperated with Polk County, their P25 system, to link those 2 new towers to, and an osprey nest was found at the welcome site, as if I recall correctly. And so that delayed that project. So they've got to complete the Hardy County system. The contractor has to sign off on it, get paid, and then they can look at putting 4 antennas on our towers. So I've not heard an update from our emergency management director on have they had any further movement, but that is my understanding where it was. The osprey nest finally, the hatchlings hatched and the birds flew, and it's no longer a nest, so they could proceed with it. So, but I've not heard any more on that. And they're supposed to be getting us a desk and putting us a panel, because we're in the alternate EOC and will be till the new EOC is built. They have revised the plans once. They tried to, they got a $9 million grant to build it. Their original floor plans, the building was going to cost $11 million, so it got cut back. And so since Hurricane Ian, there's a hole in the wall in our current EOC. It is unusable for future operations. We're in the alternate and as a result, we had no antennas on the building or anything. So I had a plan with them to put us an aluminum panel in the window. That's our new radio room, and put disconnects in there so we can mount antennas outside. At least we'll have outdoor antennas. So I've not heard the latest whether they have accomplished that or not. So from Lane Schneider. So anyway, that's where we are at this point. I just thought I'd give a report for what it was worth. And that's it.
Thanks, Daryl. Anybody from Highland?
Yeah, I'm the only one, I guess. We've got a couple of initiatives. One of our people is trying to work with the ROTC to try to get them interested in amateur radio. I don't know, and so they hopefully we can recruit some people from that to get some more backups. We also have an addition going to our EOC that's under construction as well. Fortunately, we're going to be able to keep our radio room in the same place, I guess, is the current plan. There was some discussion of moving it, which is going to be a hassle because it'll be further away from the tower. But so I guess that's what's going on here. Back to back
Sounds-
to net control.
Sounds good. Net control, I see. I don't think we've got anybody from Hillsborough, but do we? Okay, how about what's going on down there at Manatee County?
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Steve again. And for Mike Drake's edification, I put my shares call sign, or our EOC shares call sign, on my title here today. I saw that it, for some reason, it didn't follow through. Looks a whole lot like Pinellas County. We're just one letter different. Let's see, Dave, I think you're well aware of what's been going on. We have currently, as of month-end August, we have 54 active members, 42 who are qualified. That is, they've got 100, 700, and have taken the basic MCOMS course. So they're eligible to actually handle traffic in Manatee County. We have, out of that 54, 25 have extra class licenses, 4 advanced, 13 generals, and 12 tech. So we've got a pretty good group. Some activities that have been going on. You may or may not have ever heard of our monthly, semi-monthly drills we call Operation Grazing Herd. We had a grazing herd drill on August 16th. And the unique part about that was we actually were able to operate from the EOC on a Saturday. It was held concurrently with a public open house. So we were actually part of the show and tell from the ESF 5 planning room. And our radio room is actually in the planning room in Manatee County. In addition, the Manatee County OESs, the official emergency stations, all participated in a national FEMA shares exercise on July 9th via WinLink. So we're pretty active not only on WinLink, but on voice and data modes on shares pretty routinely. Couple of other things. Many of our members have been trained in Web EOC, which is essential. If you're going to work in the EOC, you have to be able to interface with the workflow management system. We continue, and actually Frank and the logistics team continue to Elmer quite a few members on Packet WinLink, and also we include in that any CERT leaders or communications officers who have amateur licenses. On the CERT side of the county communications, I personally chair the what we call the MCOMS working group for the Manatee County CERT Coalition. So we don't interface directly with the CERTs, but we do. One of our requirements, one of our fundamental capabilities that we provide to the county is a authentication and corroboration of situational awareness from the CERTs. I think that's about it. We obviously continue to work with the Manatee Operations Working Group. Had a quarterly meeting last week. The Shares Working Group meetings monthly. And I was just at the Manatee County CERT Quarterly Coalition meeting yesterday. So with that, I'll just open it up, see if anybody has any questions. Over. Nothing heard. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Sounds really good. Tim, how are things up in Pasco?
Pasco's moving along. We had our monthly meeting September 6th. It was Zoom only. I was out and about on grandbaby duty, so we had a Zoom only meeting. We had about 7 in attendance, and as part of that is a multi-part shelter operations session that we did, PowerPoint, with an in-person part 1 put on by Gary Lemunion the month before. We have a handful of new members, so they benefited from that. As far as branching out, CERT is also becoming prevalent within our organization. We have a few embedded members with their local neighborhood CERT teams, and they've reached out to us, and along with their management, we're going to start working with them. So it's a good thing. Served agency wise, we're doing well with Pasco Emergency Management. We've also taken on initially as a consulting level with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. But that's now going to be expanding into a couple of our members are credentialed volunteers now with the Sheriff's Office. And the Sheriff's Office is spending quite a bit of money on amateur radio gear. And that may even expand into buying mobile gear for supervisor vehicles. So we'll see how that'll progress in the coming budget year. Other than that, life is good up here in the far north. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Sounds like things are really starting to gather momentum up there. Mr. Parrott, how are things in Pinellas County?
Well, you can hear me, yes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We continue obviously with the support of our assistant officers, Mike, Will, and all of them. Continue with our weekly testing that we do, and it's set up on a schedule that every Wednesday, either some type of maintenance or equipment check is done on every piece of equipment we have, which is also nice because it also coincides with the regular SARNet check-ins and also with the shares check-ins. So we're doing that, and I just am very, very fortunate that I've got a team that is as diligent as they are, and also we're very fortunate to have as you've seen, superb training officer that Mike comes up with some type of training, whether it be WinLink shares or whatever, that we do either at the monthly meetings or on our weekly nets on Tuesday night. I do need to get with Tim. At some point you mentioned the sheriff becoming more involved. I did have Andrew Donovan from the sheriff's department reach out to me, and I need to get with you and coordinate. He is wanting to get about somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30 or 30 up to 35 people, and I'm assuming a lot of those are going to be officers, sheriff's officers, that are wanting to get their amateur radio license, and he's wanting us to come up and assist in doing a amateur radio class to at least get them up to a technician level to where they have their amateur radio license. So working real close with Pasco, and like I said, Tim, I need to reach out with you, see if we can get that coordinated. So other than that, life in Pinellas is busy, but it's pretty good.
I'll
And if,
certainly connect you with our sheriff's department liaison. I think he's on the meeting today, Gary Lemunion.
Yeah, I see Gary on Wednesdays. Yep. So I'll touch base with Gary.
well, it sounds pretty good. If any of you do get a chance to visit Pinellas County, Clayton has an awesome stock of equipment. What is it? You've got 6 command runners, 2 sat runners, and a number of Starlink terminals, right?
Yes, we have actually countywide, we have 8 command runners, but 2 of them are part of a UASI grant that are one positioned up north, one positioned down south. but actually in the EOC, we've got 6 command runners and 2 CRDs, or compact rapid deployables, which are the portable cell towers. And then we have 2 portable Starlinks that are 24/7 active, and then 7 Starlinks that are from the state, that all we've got to do is make a phone call and they would become active. So equipment wise, we are in a very, very fortunate position. The director there is very, very into, for lack of better words, she understands communication. She's behind the program 100%. And also, just as an FY for the group here, if you're not aware of it, if you have any Oxcom questions or anything of that nature, I am the regional Oxcom representative for the region, and Dave Byram is the state Oxcom representative. So we're fortunate that both of those resources are local to you guys. So please feel free to reach out to us. There is an Oxcom class coming up in Collier County at the end of the month. It is listed on Cert Track, and we are trying to get another Oxcom course scheduled in this area, but it will be a couple months out. Those classes take a little bit of planning and preparation, and we just don't want to overload people with that training, because then we don't get the participation that we need. So that's all I've got. Dave, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Clayton. And definitely get in touch with Clayton if you need any information on Oxcom. What's happening over in Polk there, Christine?
Oh my, well, I'm very pleased because we have a great group here. We have 2 clubs, and one of them sponsors the QRP in the park, which works to our benefit because they teach all kinds of different aspects of ham radio. And we have a tailgate tech to bring our technicians in to actually learn more and be interested in getting general licenses. Then I looked over at our CERT people and I thought, gee, there's a big resource there for better coverage for our served agency, the EOC. And so one of our members a year ago started working with the CERT groups to teach them proper radio etiquette. We did have a Skywarn training. We had 2 trainings, which we filled because we promoted it to our CERT people along with our ARES people. And then the last Saturday of August, we had a joint exercise in the park, and we had a GRMS operator and a ham operator at the EOC, and we made scripts so that people could actually call in using the scripts. That was for the first hour to get them interested or used to using the tell method that Skywarn wants. I think it's excellent for all kinds of reporting. And then the last hour, they were doing it on their own. And so I was very excited that not only our people got training on using a good method of reporting and having a structure to call in emergencies, that our CERT people also do. And so I was very proud. We had 42 people at the exercise in the park, and 17 of them were GRMS people. But as an extra bonus, 7 of those have actually passed the VE training or the VE testing and have become amateur extras, or not extras, technicians, but some of them are planning on going on to being general or higher. So that's what's happening. Oh, wait, I just got a message from our EC, that's Paul Womble, and he said that funds are now available. So I think we're going to get an IC 7300 for our radio room. So that's exciting. So that's all I have.
Sounds good, Christine. And by the way, there's a number of people on the call today that are experts with 7300s. So
Ah,
reach out to them. Anybody from Sarasota with us?
Hey, Dave, this
Nothing.
is Chuck, W4CWJ. Do you copy?
I do copy.
Yeah, I'm not representing Sarasota other than that's where I was originally from. I'm in Cherokee County, North Carolina right now. I've been on the call with you the whole way, and I just wanted to let you know I was here.
Glad to have you. And Chuck is our Assistant Section Emergency Coordinator for exercises and training. And I know you're planning some challenging events for us in the coming year.
Yeah, I'm looking at something there for the February is what our target date was. And it would definitely is going to include a lot of the things that people have been talking about this morning. And it is also will be involving the memorandum of understanding that you've got with NI4CE and exercising that as a tool. And just the Steve Park, if you can remember back to one of our previous drills in the 9 questions, it'll be different questions, but that'll be some of the same philosophy. That's all I've got right now for you, Dave. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, Chuck. We look forward to your work in the future. Just so that everybody knows, we, the West Central Florida section, are not going to do a simulated emergency test as a section. Groups are encouraged, if you want to participate in the national SET, please do so, but do that at your own group level. We, over the years, have discovered that anytime we line up an SET, nature lines up a hurricane. So we try not to confound the situation with both of those at the same time. We got a few guests this morning. First guest I'm going to flip to is Paul Toth. Tell us a little bit about what's happening with Skywarn.
Well, good morning, Dave, and good morning to everyone. Well, as you had noted at the beginning of this conference this morning, that the West Central Florida group now has an MOU with the section and with ARES. Skywarn also utilizes both the NI4CE analog system as well as the NI4CE NXDN system, and that gets exercised at least once a week, every Tuesday evening at 7:30. We do a net. The last couple of nets have been discrete nets, in other words, analog did a net, and there was a separate but equal from an information standpoint net on NXDN. We're hoping to recombine those nets so that it becomes one net here within the next couple of weeks. We're also looking right now and exploring what we may be able to do for Skywarn Recognition Day in December. We do have some antenna issues at the National Weather Service office in Ruskin, and those need to be resolved if we're going to have anything that we could potentially reach out nationally on, and we'll keep you posted on where we are with that. From a weather standpoint, so far we have been able to get through this hurricane season with minimal activity, and at least for the next couple of weeks, that appears that that trend will continue. Initially, back in April, the Hurricane Center, as well as the forecasters out in Colorado, had suggested this would be a very active hurricane season. Right now, we've only had about a third of the storms that were originally predicted, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can keep it that way. Also wanted to note that while on Wednesdays a number of you activate for the SARNet on that particular network, we're also seeing EOCs activating on Wednesdays on our NXDN network, and that includes EOCs as far away as Sumter County up in North Florida. And in the near future, we're anticipating that that may also include Lee County in South Florida and a couple of EOCs here within the section. So if you have NXDN, feel free to jump on Wednesdays. I know that Greg up at Sumter County would love to talk with you, and we'll hold it at that. So, Dave, back to you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And want to remind everyone that the West Central Florida group does operate the NI4CE repeater system on the basis of user contributions. So we, if you want features in the system, they'll be looking for contributions. Anyways, do we have any other of our leadership team that has mentions for the good of the order? Nothing heard. I'm going to open it up for open discussion. Any questions from anyone from the floor? Feel free. They're all sitting there going, I don't want to talk. I don't have any questions. Anyways,
Mike KG4 is waving like he wants to say something.
Well, go ahead.
You're muted, Christine.
Thank you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do we have the state WinLink address? And we should post it somewhere.
Mr. Drake.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do have the WinLink address for that. I don't have it right here, but I can certainly get that to you. I can email it to you without any trouble.
Okay, thank you. I think we should put it on the list too, in case we need it. Like we have the list of counties, but the state might be good too.
Yeah, we'll certainly do that. That's a good idea.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Any other questions, discussions, points of interest?
Yeah, this is Steve in Manatee. Quick question for Clayton. As far as Oxcom courses, we're seeing somewhat of a demand here by paid staff for RADO, COM-T, COM-L. Any chance that those might be offered if we can fund them over?
Yes, they can be. Unfortunately, the process tends to be a little bit elongated because they have to go through the SWIC, the statewide interoperability coordinator. What I would suggest is if they are wanting those courses, to get your EM director or your training officer for your county to actually put a request in to the state, an official request, and explain to them basically what class it is you're wanting, how many people you're looking at having in attendance, because that's a huge help to them determining the need and also what time frame. And the thing is, be careful about that, because a lot of these courses, because they're from CISA DHS. They take a little bit of time. It's not like having a, you know, amateur radio technician class. A lot of these courses, they have to be vetted and put together. There's a lot of signatures going up the food chain and then back down. Typically, to give you an example, to put an Oxcom course together, it normally takes about a 2.5, almost 3 month lead time to get those classes put together. Radio classes and things of that nature tend to take about the same. If you're talking something like a COM-T class, those take even longer. They typically have one of those a year. And COM-L classes, they tend to have one or two of those per year. And they try to rotate them around the state because there's such a high criteria demand to get in those classes, and a lot of prerequisites have to be made. So that would be my suggestion. Yes, they are offering them, but to get them done properly, we've tried it before. Dave and I both can teach the COM-L class, the COM-T classes, the Oxcom classes. Oxcom, we're at liberty that Dave and I can pretty much pull the trigger on those fairly easy, as we can provide all the material and support for those. But the things like the radio classes and the COM-L classes and the COM-T, they require more resources and also more involvement with the state. And the approval has to come from them. So that would be my suggestion, Steve, is get a hold of your training officer or the emergency director and put that list together. Hey, we've got 20 people that want to do the radio class, and we would like to have it sometime in February or March, and give them sort of a blanket time frame. Get that to the state and then stay on top of them. Don't just put the request in and let it sit there. You have to be that squeaky wheel, for lack of better words, because the more squeak you get, they're eventually going to do something to either shut you up or get you a class, one of the two. And that's the God's honest truth. I'm just going to tell you like it is.
I always appreciate that, Clayton. Thank you. And just a status update, since Chuck and Sanford are on the line. The Ag Recovery Group needs to know that the new site in Mayaca City is well underway. We have antennas and cables run for what previously was the SAR-9 repeater. SAR-9 will be MAN 19. Don't have an on-the-air date yet, but it's progressing nicely. So I'm looking forward to offering that service to y'all.
Super.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. Good job.
And I'm going to ask Sanford just to give us a little overview on the ARES nets. Sanford? I think we lost Sanford.
Am I unmuted now, Dave?
Yep, you're going good.
Okay. Yeah, the ARESnet is on the NI4C system every Monday night at 7:30. Takes about 45-minute net. Dave is always on there with some announcements or directions and so forth as West Central Florida SEC. And I'm net manager and net control most of the time. I'd like to have more ECs checking in because with their reports and what they're doing. And the information provided is for so the other counties and the ECs can understand what's going on with their particular county. As that's the reason it's named Information Net. and it's on the NI4CE system at any of the NI4CE repeater systems. So I'll be happy to have you on board, and we also take general check-ins so that the general ham public can see what's going on also. So we'd appreciate it if you can make it into that net, and looking forward to have you on board. So thank you very much. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Sanford. And also let me, Bill Johnson couldn't make it today because he's at the Hillsborough meeting, but there is also an HF net every Saturday morning at 7:30, 07:30, or after the Florida phone traffic net, whichever is later. It's just a simple check-in. The frequency is 3.94 megahertz, and all ARES members, in fact, all amateurs are welcome to check into there. Obviously, you'd have to have the general license. Okay, any other items for open discussion?
Don't
I have
forget
one
about
more question.
Go ahead, Christine.
Okay, thank you. I just had one more question. My emergency director asked me if there are any criteria for what they want ARES reporting like to the state.
Right now, we do not have any ARES reporting to the state of Florida, although the other two SECs do get a copy of what we send into the ARRL. We have not, Mr. Lord, the SWIC has not asked for any reporting on a recurring basis. Should that happen, I'll get the word out. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I guess then reports that we get at the AOC, I don't know what Paul Womble does with them, but he handles them. He just wondered if there was any requirements or anything they really wanted to know about.
No, I don't think at this time.
Or if he was talking about FEMA.
Clayton, you're not aware of any reporting to the state, are you?
No, not that I'm aware of. The only reporting that Roger Lord actually typically gets is he'll get a report from Dave on any Oxcom activities and stuff. But other than that, the state doesn't really get involved down to a local level unless there were an activation of some sort.
Okay, thank you.
Right, I think he was mostly thinking about hurricanes, and what kind of damage we would have in our county.
I think that's all combined in the general report that goes up, Christina, like when they do their damage reports up to the state, they'll combine all of the reports from both ARES reporting in and also any of their damage assessment teams. They'll compile all of that together so that they're not getting bits and pieces, and they actually get just one comprehensive report coming up. It makes it easier for them just to just say, Polk County is reporting X amount of damage, and they're not really, not being funny. They're not really concerned where the report came from individually. They're looking at it from a county level. I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you. It does.
Daryl, I think you might have had a question.
No, just a comment. Don't forget about the South Florida ARES net, which is on 6 days a week on 3940 at 0745, or immediately following the Florida phone traffic net. But on Saturdays, it normally is after the West Central Florida section net. So, and they do call all West Central Florida section counties as well. It's like the counterpart to the Northern Florida ARES net. That's what it was designed to be. So they had 49 check-ins this morning. I think that's a record, but that's all I got.
Thanks, Daryl. Well, we're quickly approaching the 10 o'clock time frame.
Dave,
Sir?
this is Paul Toth. One piece of information I'd like to pass on to everybody. Oftentimes when you're looking to acquire some new radio equipment for an EOC or a group, you kind of throw your hands up in the air and say, well, how can I get that? Well, one of the things that the state of Florida is a signatory to is the NASPO national contract. And if you're looking at acquiring any ICOM radio equipment, be it ham radio, specific amateur radio models, or any commercial equipment, land mobile, as in NXDN radios or any equipment that could potentially operate on Part 90 frequencies, know that that is covered by the NASPO contract, and that saves a lot of the busy work and the paper chasing when you're trying to acquire equipment. So if anyone is interested in acquiring any new ICOM radios, most of that can be done under the NASPO contract, and you can either buy directly from ICOM or any of the ICOM NASPO authorized dealers here in Florida.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's probably good information. I suspect there's pretty much relationships like that with many of the other manufacturers as well. Our next meeting, I plan it to be at about 2 o'clock on the 13th of December at the Tampa Bay Ham Fest meeting. I haven't worked out yet whether we'll be able to have a Zoom component, but we'll work that. Hope to see as many as possible. And unless there's any other points of order, I'm going to recommend that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Sounds good. Hopefully, please send me an email. You can always get me at my call sign W4PXE at ARRL.net. And tell me what you think, what you would like to see, or if you think the meeting is worthless. I need the feedback. Thank you very much, folks. I'm going to go.